Sandy's Treedome is definitely one of the lesser visited homes of the main characters in SpongeBob, but it's still in a lot of episodes and certainly interesting as it's a bit more mysterious than something like SpongeBob or Squidward's house. And today it's about time we take a look at it. Sandy's Treedome first appears in the third episode of the show, fittingly named Tea at the Treedome.
Remember, when in doubt, pinky out. You can do it, SpongeBob. I'll be watching.
Here we see that, firstly, of course, the Treedome is filled with air, with this section in between filtering away the water before you go inside. In the middle of the Treedome, Sandy got this big ass tree, which is essentially her house, with the rest of the Treedome being her garden, as we see utilized in this episode.
Here. Of course there's no water, nothing but air.
The garden is nothing that special here, it's just like Conch Street, where stuff like a table is sometimes spawned in if needed. That is definitely true for Muscle Bob Buff Pants too, where Sandy and SpongeBob work out in the dome, where Sandy has a boxing ring.
Alright, put 'em up. They're up. Ding ding.
Later in the same episode, we get a look inside the tree itself.
It hurts. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we finally found an exercise for you, SpongeBob. 9, 10.
Here we see that Sandy has a room located inside the green part of the tree, with a window, a bench, and a TV. We get another look at the inside of the tree in Karate Choppers later in season 1, where we see that she has a tree phone connected to the brown part.
Hello?
In Suds, right next to the wheel that we saw in Muscle Bob Buff Pants.
Hello?
The last important thing we learn in season 1 is how Sandy has a lever that when pulled can close down the entire dome that we can see in action in Texas.
Go away.
Moving on to season 2, we learn in Bubble Buddy that Sandy's Treedome is actually adjusted for the seasons.
Maybe Sandy will play with me. Another note.
SpongeBob went south for the winter. Love, Sandy.
I don't get it. The water's fine.
So when it's winter, it's also winter inside Sandy's Treedome. Now, Leif Erikson Day is on October 9th, so I guess it's more autumn, but there's snow, so I would say winter. And this is a theme that continues in season 2, as we got 2 episodes that cover Sandy hibernating for the winter, starting with pre-hibernation week.
There we go.
So here we see Sandy's tree without leaves again, but without snow since it's pre-hibernation, so I guess still autumn, but a bit earlier.
I told you, SpongeBob. I'm hibernating next week.
Hibernating? What's that?
It's when I go to sleep for the whole winter.
And she also has a fence in this episode. Not that it matters, but there's a fence in the garden. And then in Survival of the Idiots, also in season 2, we see her actually having gone into hibernation.
Sandy? Hey, Sandy! What's with the sign?
Look, she's on the eating channel.
Now, I don't quite know how this would factor in with her going to Texas for the winter, but I guess the easiest explanation would be that it's 2 different winters.
If y'all are watching this, that means I'm asleep for the winter. This sleep is called hibernation.
Like, Bubble Buddy takes place earlier in the season, so that might be when Sandy is a bit less adjusted to Bikini Bottom, and therefore goes home when winter hits, instead of hibernating in her Treedome, I guess.
SpongeBob, look at this!
So here in Survival of the Idiots, we really get to see the Treedome, and in winter at that. It being locked down tracks with her having a lever for that in season 1, and we see all the most usual things out in her garden.
I think it came from up in Sandy's tree.
That is one tired tree.
Let's check it out.
And then we get a pretty extensive look inside the tree, at least compared to what we have seen before.
Look what's in Sandy's bed.
It looks like an overinflated Sandy doll.
Okay, so that was a lie, kind of, cause we only see Sandy's pretty empty bedroom from a couple of angles. But there's an interesting thing at the end of the episode, where we see more of how this seasonal habitat thing works inside the dome.
For the longest, coldest winter ever.
Bring it on!
Spring?
So yeah, that's pretty fast. Also, the Treedome looks huge here. There is actually not a lot of more things to talk about for pre-movie, cause like I said in the beginning, Sandy's Treedome really don't appear much like the inside of it. But what we got before we move on to post-movie is that Wormy shows that she has an animal collection outside, and Pranks-a-Lot shows an escape pod in the tree. Something interesting to mention is how often Sandy builds something to our left of the Treedome. Like in many episodes where she has some kind of big invention, it's right there. Don't really mean much, it's just funny that it's always the same spot, cause if y'all didn't know, Sandy's house is on Conch Street. Like, Conch Street is where SpongeBob, Squidward and Patrick lives, but her house is also on Conch Street, just way further away. And since she has kind of no neighbors, she has all this space around, but she always puts her inventions on the left side. It's just funny. In season 5's A Flea in Her Dome, we see that Sandy has an emergency escape hatch inside the tree, which just dumps you from the tree directly into the garden.
Hold on!
And then, to save a squirrel, also in season 5, reveals that SpongeBob is not the only one with a rarely used garage.
What the?
Okay, but unlike SpongeBob's garage, this shit has never been here before, as it's clearly visible from the outside. But it's probably like the ramp to the rocket in Sandy's rocket, or the platform for the ship in Squidtastic Voyage that she just builds for the episode. Speaking of ships, if we move on to season 7, Hide and Then What Happens shows that she actually has one in the tree itself.
Wow. Are you sure it's okay for me to use this?
I keep it here for emergencies.
Also in season 7, we got Who's in the Kitchen with Sandy, where we see Sandy's bathroom for the first time ever.
Time to get this stinky thing off.
So, based on how the tree looks, it would have to be on the upper floor, you know, same as the bedroom, but this tree wouldn't fit any of these rooms anyway. But yeah, upper floor seems to be most likely, but there's no way of really knowing since, like, we never see Sandy going from the bathroom to somewhere else without cutting, so yeah.
Hope you like long showers, squirrel.
Like when Plankton exits through the door and when Sandy breaks it down later, there's really no indication of where in the tree they are, so I can't really speak on that yet at least. But the bathroom looks nice though.
I'm locked in! Hi! Some low-life varmint stole my things and broke into my home!
Actually, I lied. I don't think it looks nice. I don't know why I said that. I just didn't really know what to say, so I said it looked nice, but no, it looks like a communal shower at like a bathhouse or something. So yeah, L bathroom, but moving on. In Season 8's Mooncation, we learn that there is actually space below the tree as well, with a secret room.
So they think. You see, someone already made a secret copy.
There's not much here, it's just an empty room, although there is a sign that has the radioactive symbol on it. So probably this is where Sandy does some of her science stuff that's more secret. In House Sitting for Sandy, it's Sandy's garden that becomes impossibly huge instead of the tree itself.
Normal. 2,692.
So here she has a glass house, a robot factory, and other new furniture stuff out in the garden.
Worm incubator. Well, looks like everything's fine here.
Of course they are temporary, but still it adds to the bigger on the inside theme. Bubble Troubles shows how Sandy fills up her Treedome with air from the outside using an air tank.
Well, I'd love to try out your newfangled bubbles, Patrick, but I've got to fix these air lines to my Treedome. They're all clogged up and the lack of fresh air is making me woozy.
Which seems a bit primitive for how advanced her other inventions are. Taking a jump to Season 11, Goons on the Moon shows that Sandy has a whole spaceship under the Treedome. This might be able to be connected to her underground bunker thing in Mooncation, although that episode showed her having an entirely different spaceship outside, like multiple episodes have had before. In Season 13's Sandy Help Us, Sandy, instead of sleeping in her bed, as we saw her do in... I forgot what episode that was. No, Survival of the Idiots, of course. In this episode, instead she's sleeping on a mattress on a tree branch inside the tree. In Season 11's Doodle Dimension, we get to see how the inside of the bottom part of the tree looks.
Oh no! You've activated the vortex!
The same can be seen in multiple other episodes where there is not much space or any floor right behind the door. And in Sandy's Naughty Nieces, we see the steps on the tree that you use to get up to the upper floor.
Why don't you show the girls around town?
So I think based on this, it's safe to say that there are no rooms on the bottom floor, making it, I guess, not a bottom floor. She only has one floor, which is the one that's up in the green part of the tree. The long bottom part of the tree is just used for getting up into the actual house, so it's like a tree house. Meaning that the rooms that we have seen all gotta be placed on the same level. So first, Sandy has the main room, where she sleeps, has a phone and TV and a wide range of different science stuff, depending on the episode.
Feed me!
Jumping beans on a trampoline? You're starving!
Just like SpongeBob, she has a gym up here, but that's once again seeming to be in the same room and only there for one episode. Then she has the bathroom, which gotta be through a door further in, like into the room, that we don't see from any of the normal angles. But Sandy also has another bathroom in A Fish Called Sandy, which is in season 15, right? And this bathroom looks completely different to the one we saw in Someone's in the Kitchen with Sandy. This bathroom is a lot more tree themed, but it's still got tiles and stuff. Definitely a different one though. I don't know how these two would be located in relation to each other. But this episode also shows stairs leading up to the top of the tree, instead of the simple steps that we saw before. This changes really nothing though. It's still pretty much impossible for any of the rooms or bathrooms to be on the bottom floor. So if you ask me, everything is at the top. This being her big room that's both a bedroom and living room and has a lot of space to give her room to do whatever she wants to do in the episode. Like if she wants to make an invention for SpongeBob or something, this main room, she will always have space for it, so it's a big room. And then either 2 bathrooms, or what's more likely in my opinion, she has 1 bathroom up here. Cause I would say that she just had it renovated or something. That's my headcanon, cause why would she have 2 bathrooms in this tree that's already like not fitting enough rooms? So basically Sandy's Treedome is just a big room, a bathroom, and a bunch of different inventions and stuff, and then a secret room below that might be a whole space rocket. Yeah.